The World Cup of Hockey makes a stop in one of the great hockey cities in the world. Good evening, everybody, and hello from the Bell Center in Montreal, where this is pre-tournament game number 2 for both Team Europe and Team North America. In net for the North Americans tonight, John Gibson, 23 years of age, from Pittsburgh, had the second best goals against in the NHL last season, playing for Anaheim, his first start in this event here tonight. And down to the other end, a veteran of 8 years in the NHL and a veteran of international play, including a couple of Olympics. Thomas Greiss goes for Team Europe. There's your officiating crew: Kelly Sutherland, Dan O'Rourke, the referees, Derek Amell, and Shane Heyer will be working the lines tonight on this Sunday night in Montreal. Nathan MacKinnon, a former Quebec Major Junior hockey star, had 2 goals and a 4-0 win over Team Europe, including a penalty shot. That was on Thursday in Quebec City. They display their speed and skill, and Team Europe promises to be much more prepared for that here tonight. Dave Randolph with you. Greg Millen is downstairs between the benches. Team Europe corrals that puck at the far point. That is Roman Josi. His wrist shot rips over the net, and now a chance for Tatar to turn and shoot. Did not get a whole lot of that. Ryan Murray puts it up the boards and clears it out to center right. Here's MacKinnon, taps it to Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. He can't get a shot away, and now it's controlled by Max Zuccarello. Both teams change. And Josi waits behind his own net for things to organize and set up in front of him, and now Team Europe starts out. Long stretch pass up for the veteran Hossa. Tried to cut in on Shane Gostisbehere, and he broke that play out. Connor McDavid out for his first shift on a much talked about line, because he's playing on a line now with Jack Eichel. The top 2 picks from the draft a couple of years ago. Andrej Sekera puts it deep, and here is Gostisbehere, Calder Trophy finalist. Up to another Calder Trophy finalist, McDavid, who's in there with Eichel, and he tried to feed it backhandedly to Gaudreau. Out in front, Eichel with a shot in tight, and Greiss has to make his first save of the night. There's that speed. Both Eichel and McDavid can fly.
A lot of rush chances for Team North America in Game 1, and they get one early here in their second match against each other.
Puck knocked around at center ice. Brandon Saad will reset it to the backside, and it's moved across to Morgan Riles. Touched into the middle for Brandon Saad. Saad, wearing number 20, comes into this tournament as the leading goal scorer from last year's NHL season for Team North America. 31 goals, career high for him in Columbus. An excellent first season there. Now here's Austin Matthews. Matthews shoots and did not get all of that one. And that's kicked aside by Greiss. Back out come the Europeans at the line, and they're offside, and play is whistled down.
Well, the first good chance of the hockey game as Eichel's in tight. Connor McDavid with this great speed. Eichel starts it off, keeps the play alive, and a little flip pass behind the net. And after Eichel gained the blue line, what does he do? He goes right to the net and gets rewarded for this little flip pass in front from McDavid to Eichel, and a good save to start the game for Greiss.
Thomas Greiss did something that a lot of Islanders goalies have not been able to do in a long time, and that is win a playoff series. He was in net for that first round win over the Florida Panthers. New York's first win since 1993. His Islander teammate Yaroslav Halak is his backup tonight, and that is icing against Europe.
Well, I expect a lot more from Europe tonight. Ralph Kruger, their head coach, was telling us that, look, the team just got together late. They came together late because of qualifying Olympic rounds. They've had a couple of good days of practice. This is a veteran group that was somewhat disappointed with the performance and embarrassed a little bit in Quebec City. And we're in Montreal, and that always brings the best out of players also.
Here's Jannik Hansen now. Hansen about to start his 10th season with the Vancouver Canucks. 10 years in the NHL, despite being a very late 9th round draft pick. Here's Trocheck back the other way. Trocheck with a shot, and he missed stick side on Greiss. Another blast knocked down, and Hansen tries to get away. He can really go, but Gostisbehere got there first and knocked that puck away. Here is Colton Parayko now for Team North America. Parayko making his first international appearance He has never played for Canada at any level. One of the many surprises of last year's NHL season was Parayko with the St. Louis Blues. And Parayko corrals that pass, pulls it off the end boards and moves it up the wing. Dylan Larkin saw Mark Streit coming, and he'll just dump it in, forcing Spiza back for Europe. Here's Jonathan Drouin. Drouin to McKinnon. McKinnon can't find it. Now he's going to get it back. That's some good stick work defensively by Streit to prevent McKinnon from getting a shot away. Pass up ahead, right under the tape of Frans Nielsen. Nielsen followed up by Hossa. And Nielsen goes in with a hit on Nugent Hopkins. There's a shot in on Gibson. He'll kick that aside. How many pucks to the net yet for Team Europe? And it's back inside their blue line. That is Leon Draisaitl, number 29. Up ahead to Streit. Did not see that coming, and now here's Eichel on. Jack Eichel, the Buffalo Sabres top goal scorer, got the puck, moves in, tried to feed it in front, couldn't get it to control. And it is cleared. Here's Ekblad now. Makes one move, then throws it across. Picked up by Riley. And this McDavid-Eichel control line goes back to work, but right now it's Draisaitl with the outlet pass to Josi. And Roman Josi's going to go for a skate. And on the backhand, rebound, and he did not get that second attempt to the net after Gibson made the first stop.
You're seeing Team Europe activate their defense a lot more than they did in the first time these two teams met, and they're on the body trying to slow down Team North America much more than they were in Quebec City.
Here's Riley. Speaking of active defensemen, drops it off. Matthews in there, and now a blast. Ekblad scores! Aaron Ekblad gets Team North America on the board, 1-0.
Well, he absolutely rips it, but some pretty good entry here again. But first of all, Morgan Riley. So both defensemen in on the play. And then Austin Matthews dipsy-doodling through the middle of the ice on a turn back from Saad. And then here comes Ekblad as he joins the attack. And he absolutely rifles it after Matthews cuts through the middle of the ice, loses the puck, and then Ekblad with a good read comes in late. He's got that bomb, and he lets it go right over the top of Grace.
Aaron Ekblad, 20 years of age, coming off a career-high 15-goal season. He's got 27 goals in his first two NHL campaigns. And he's got the first goal here tonight. Scheifele with a drive that goes off a leg and into the near corner. Austin Matthews draws one of the assists. Brandon Saad the other. And Matthews trying to find that puck. It goes into the corner. The Team Europe, Greg, finds themselves in the same position they found themselves on Thursday in Quebec City, and that is trailing.
Yeah, and that speed starting to show up again for Team North America. What's amazing, both defensemen lead the charge on that last rush, and boy, did the defense for Team North America have the green light.
Led on that rush that time by Morgan Riley. Here's Couturier. Saw that check coming, and we got a 3-on-1. Here is Trocheck, drops it off, back and forth. Great stop, rebound, scores! Dylan Larkin finds the rebound and buries it, and it is 2-0 in a hurry.
Well, all starts in the other zone. Big time hit here. But what happens when you do that? You overcommit as a defenseman, then it becomes a 3-on-1. Grace with the first big save, but then a follow-up by Larkin, and he makes no mistake after Grace makes a beautiful first save. Larkin just picks this puck right out of the air. And Team Europe runs out of position and gets caught. And that creates the 3-on-1 and eventually a goal to make it 2-0 here early for Team North America.
Dylan Larkin was not in the lineup on Thursday night. He gets in this evening. He was Detroit's top goal scorer last year with 23 of them, and he makes it 2-0. Two quick goals by the North Americans, a minute and 7 seconds apart. Trocheck and Murray draw the assists. And they've got the puck again on a string. Here's McKinnon, throws it in front, backhander. Oh, that just missed near side. Here's Donovan Drouin. Drouin, who grew up about an hour north of here in St. Agathe. Although, Greg, I'm told by the locals that is wishful thinking with the Montreal traffic.
Yep.
Here's McKinnon now. Gets it to Ekblad. Shoots! Scores! These kids are impressive. 3-0.
Again, all the pressure from Team North America's creating giveaways. Chara just throws it up the boards, no support. Draisaitl overskates the puck. Now another 3-on-2. And Ekblad, again, the defense, there he goes, left of your screen. Reads, jumps, wires it, 5-hole. 3-0 and a timeout now for Team Europe.
All say 3 goals in 1:59. 2 of them by Aaron Ekblad. And the much talked about improved performance for Team Europe. We have not seen it as Ralph Kruger is going over a couple things with a squad that is made up of players from 8 different countries. Paul Maurice, you can see on his staff along with Brad Shaw.
The puck pressure from Team North America is giving Team Europe all kinds of issues in their own zone. Even off the rush, they're backing up. There's huge gaps between forward and defense. Todd McClellan's group just eating it up right now and using their speed and skill and grabbing this 3-0 lead. And Team Europe, I don't know what they think, but now they're shaking their heads in disbelief.
Matt Zuccarello is on the ice, and he was quoted after the game on Thursday saying, yeah, in the first period, we got sore necks watching these guys fly past us. I think he was just kind of half joking. And it's 3 goals on 6 shots, and look at they've got it going again. Here comes McDavid flying down the wing. McDavid backhander goes off the side of the net. Look at that speed. Now wanting his way around is Gaudreau. Gaudreau stripped to the puck by Kopitar. And he drops it off for Zuccarello. Zuccarello near side for Josi. And that is puck is taken away by Gostisbehere. Quick headband up to Eichel. Eichel in front, tip, and a good stop by Price. Great tip there by Johnny Gaudreau. Shots are 7-1.
And it's all about transition. Team Europe just can't get back off the rush. Here we go again.
Here's Matthews. Matthews looks, feeds it in front, and the pass was in behind the intended target. Morgan Rielly banks it off the boards, and it's picked up again by Saad. Saad on the fly, curls back, drops it off for Matthews. Trying a little move. Beasley got a piece of that, but he's still got the puck. Back to Rielly. Rielly winds it around the boards. Austin Matthews, a star in the Swiss League last year, playing for Mark Crawford in Zurich. Looking to make an impact here. Belmar. Surrounded by a couple of black jerseys. Now it's Thomas Vanek. Got a sneaky little shot and they score. Vanek threw it out from the corner and it hits somebody and it's into the net.
Belmar is going to get this one as he went to the net. And Gibson, who is not contested at all, loves this puck here. He just dumps it into an area where he gives it right back to Team Europe. And then a board play win. And here's where Gibson loses the handle on the puck. I think Belmar in front of the net's going to put this in after Gibson couldn't find the handle on that loose puck on the centering pass from Vanek. Just like that, Team Europe now get themselves back in this thing after being right out of it early.
Yeah, they needed that one. That is for sure as the puck goes up over the boards right where you are standing. Pierre-Edouard Bellemare gets Europe's first goal of this pre-tournament competition, and it's 3-1. So back at the Bell Center, 4 goals on the board already. And we are not even at the midway point of this first period. There's Paul Maurice, the head coach of the Winnipeg Jets, talking to the guy who's got the Europe goal, Pierre-Edouard Bellemare, sitting beside a former Montreal Canadian, albeit briefly, Thomas Vanek. So we'll see if they can possibly slow these young guns down, because they are flying again tonight. They really came out strong the other night, don't you think, Greg? And then Europe seemed to adjust as the game went on. It wasn't quite as blinding speed pace as that game wore on. We'll see what happens here tonight.
Yeah, the third period, certainly Team Europe started to get their cycle game going down low, which became a little bit effective. Here are the goals tonight so far for Team North America. Ekblad's going to waltz right off the point and blast one early. And then a little 3-on-1 play down low that Larkin finishes off after a great save by Greiss. And then guess who again? Ekblad on a 5-hole and a turnover by Team Europe. And that's been the story of the game. Speed by Team North America, turnovers by Team Europe so far.
Team Europe was starting with a puck an awful lot. They're winning all the face-offs. They've won 8. And North America's won none so far. Here's Trocheck. And that was a concern with Team North America, and that is a concern going forward once the tournament begins on Saturday. Who is going to step up and win some face-offs for these guys against an more experienced center iceman?
Not only experience, it's strength as well, Dave, and that's pretty normal for young center icemen in the National Hockey League. It takes some time to get better in the face-off circle.
Well, they've been pretty good at getting that puck back so far. And they've got Europe hemmed again. Here is Daniel Chop. You can hear the boos here. Not necessarily the most popular guy with all his years in Boston. Here in Montreal. Drouin drops it off. Morgan Riley puts it towards the net and scores again. A wrist shot finds its way home. 4-1 North America.
I'm not sure if this hits something on the way in and Greiss it out. Riley just throws it towards the net. And I think straight in front of the net. It might have hit him. And here's a little play by Durant. Just throws it back. And right in front of the net, I believe this is straight. Who this hits there. Absolutely. Right off the glove and in. And Thomas Greiss is having a tough period, but you can't really blame him for that one either.
And they've already taken their time out. And now Greiss.
We're going to get a goalie change.
They're going to change it. So he's going over to this side because, as you well know, and this rink, you would know this especially, Nosey being a former goaltender, that's where the backup sits.
Yeah, you got to find out. Now you got to find Halak.
Yeah, he's probably hiding right about now.
Well, the hot dogs are really good here in Montreal. Where is he?
We are like just over 10 minutes into this period, and they're making a goaltending change already. And you're right, I think Halak had to run and grab some things, and here comes the former Montreal Canadian.
You know, I spoke with him this morning, and he was disappointed that he wasn't playing this game here this evening. He said he didn't have his save. He said, maybe I should have said something. Well, he's going to get his wish. Probably didn't want to come in this way, but look at the ovation he's going to get here. He was a crowd favorite, and a real good run here in Montreal for the Montreal Canadiens.
4 seasons with Montreal. His shining moment came in the 2010 playoffs against the Washington Capitals, helping them rally and win that series. So they're going to warm him up, and we will take a break from the Bell Center in Montreal. Back at the Bell Center, 4 goals on 8 shots for Team North America, so a goaltending change has been made. Jaro Halak is in, and we are ready to drop the puck again.
I'm going to put my goalie's union hat on here and say how nice it was to see the goalie being warmed up coming off the bench. I wouldn't mind seeing that again in the National Hockey League, to be quite honest with you.
Loose puck, and Jonathan Drouin is on it. Drouin coming down that right side, cuts back, shoots, and Halak has to make his first save right away.
Well, the good news for Halak is he got some game work in Quebec, as he was the starting goalie there, so it's not quite as difficult coming in here the way he's had to come in early in this hockey game. And of course, when you come in this early, you have been sitting for at least a couple of periods, which helps, but it's never easy for a goalie, and that's exactly what you want. You want to get an early save and get into the game.
And now Team Europe will just try to get the next one. But this one is icing, going all the way back down.
Well, Ralph Kruger was talking a lot about his team's structure, that he wanted to see improvement. And being an exhibition game, he's still not too concerned yet, but he wanted to see improvement in his team's structure as this game progressed. And so far, I don't know that he's really witnessed that, as Team North America has been on the fly again.
McDavid wins that draw cleanly, gets it back to Ryan Murray. Murray throws it across to Seth Jones, and that is handled and held long enough by Halak to get a draw.
And a face-off win that time for Team North America. And they've been working on using 2 centers per line. There's a lot of centers in this lineup, which keeps everybody on their strong side to perhaps help the face-off circle situation for Team North America.
Here's Belmar, the lone goal scorer, gets a shot in on net on Gibson, and he makes the stop, and it's hammered back in by Andrei Sekera. Here's Jones. Another very strong skating defenseman gets it away to Murray, his Columbus D-pair man, his partner there in Columbus. And now it's Streit. Streit, another former Montreal Canadian, has the puck. Turned over to Ryan Murray, banked off the wall, and here they come again. Here comes McDavid. McDavid looks around, takes a shot, handled by Halak, keeps it moving. Drops it off to 37-year-old Marian Hossa. And Hossa leaves it behind the net, and here comes Streit. There is some youth on this Europe team when you look at the likes of Leon Draisaitl, but there's a lot of vets as well. Like Streit and Hossa, Chara. Frans Nielsen is out there right now and trying to get a hold of that pass, which he does. Up ahead to Hossa. Hossa cannot get away from Colton Parayko. Still has the puck, though, is always very strong with it. But no shot, and it's taken away by Team North America. Stepping in is Scheifele. Scheifele into the corner for Matthews. Scheifele down low, coming off an excellent season in Winnipeg. And now here's a break, straight up the middle for Draisaitl, in there, and a quick save made by Gibson. Back to Spiza. Spiza across to Seidenberg, wrist shot, and Gibson's got that too.
When you activate the fence the way North America does, you're going to have breakdowns. And that's just the way it's going to be, and that's where your goalie has to come up big, and they're going to see some work with these kind of plays. Draisaitl, a big, strong, young center iceman, used his body, protects the puck, and gets a pretty good chance there. And a good save by Gibson.
John Gibson had career bests last year at Anaheim in what was considered his rookie season, but he did play 23 games the season prior to that. Larkin overskates that puck. He's got one of the goals here tonight. So this quick North American lineup just gets faster with the addition of Dylan Larkin. Here's Kopitar. Kopitar can't shoot because nice little back check there by Murray to take the puck away. Now here's Larkin, left side. Larkin with a shot that it goes off the stick of Chara and around the boards. Pass attempt out in front, can't get it there. That one's off the glass. Crowd reacting because Chara was dumped in behind the play. This is Gostisbehere. Shane Gostisbehere 1-on-2, just gets it inside the blue line. And now he's going to get it right back. Steps in, drops it off to MacKinnon. MacKinnon dropped the pass off to Gostisbehere. And now waits for it down low. The veteran Seidenberg is on him. Puck battle along the end boards. Nugent Hopkins was there, so was Bellemare. Here's Chara to open ice for Seidenberg. Seidenberg, who is an unrestricted free agent right now after being bought out by the Boston Bruins. Gives it to his old teammate, Chara. And he hears it, which he will all night, every time he comes in here. Here's Jonathan Drouin with some room, puts it in there, tipped by MacKinnon, and tipped wide. Here's Drouin, trying to make something happen, flips it back to Riley. Riley scored once like this, tries it again, goes off the end boards, and now Nielsen strips Drouin of the puck. Once again, we are seeing that constant forecheck pressure by Team North America. Every time Europe turns around, checks over one shoulder or the next. They are there. Here's Josi. Roman Josi all the way around the net. McDavid sticking with him every step of the way. Strike curls back from some pressure. Into the corner for Hossa. Marian Hossa up high in the zone. Drops it off in tight quarters. Wrist shot well wide of the mark. And now Ekblad goes along the dashers, knocked back up by Ekblad, who's got 2 goals already in this period. Bodker can't get a shot away. And here is Eichel. Eichel up ahead to McDavid, straight over the middle, drops it off for Gaudreau. Gaudreau cuts back, shoots, not all of it, and goes into the corner. Back into the middle. Taking up some speed is Draisaitl with a nice rush in his last shift. Niederreiter shoots. That hits a body in front. He goes to get it and then turns it over to Eichel. Back up the boards for Scheifele. Scheifele with a headman pass, and they'll step back in. Here's Gaudreau. Gaudreau shoots, and that is partially deflected by Sabisa. And in. An own goal, and a disaster of a first period gets worse for Team Europe.
Team Europe, throughout this period, has insisted pinching down the boards, and it hasn't worked once. Here's another example. Pinch. Scheifele gets right by the check. Now you got a man advantage break. Nothing happens right away, but Gaudreau just throws it back towards the net, and a tough break for Halak as it hits him in the back and goes right into the net. But again, all this trouble starts at the other end with the bad pinches that Team Europe continue to do. And Johnny Gaudreau there laughs. A skilled move as he just threw it back in front, and he got a bit of a break. Everything's going right at the moment for Team North America.
5-1. Just under 4 minutes remaining. There's a hard glass from Parayko. We saw that several times last season in his rookie year.
Yeah, look for him to be on the power play for Team North America because of that big shot at some point.
He is paired with Gostisbehere. Both he and Gostisbehere, the top 2 scoring rookie defensemen in the NHL. And Gostisbehere didn't even play the whole season. Here is Zuccarello with a shot and a kick save made by Gibson. North America steps back in. That is Scheifele. Cannot get around Chara. And this is Seidenberg. Pierre-Edouard Bellemare has got the lone goal. Carries the puck down the right side. It goes around the end boards. Couturier waits for it, takes it off. Riley gets it to Larkin. Larkin tried to make a bank move to himself, but that was cut off. Back up ahead for Vanek. Vanek turns and fires a shot off the skates of Riley. And Chara with a drive, and Gibson saw it and stops it. In the final 3 minutes of what's been a high-scoring period for one team at the Bell Center. Welcome back to the Bell Center in Montreal. 5-1 for Team North America in the black jerseys. Team Europe wearing the whites and a little bit of red in the face right now after this opening 20 is unraveled in a hurry. It was 3-0 before Europe got their first goal of pre-tournament competition, and now North America's added a couple more, including one that went off of their own man. Face-off controlled by the North Americans. It's worked around the boards and tipped all the way down the ice. Andre Sekera hustles back down with McKinnon watching him. Nugent Hopkins shovels it back in there on his backhand, trying to contain the puck. Sekera is there, but Nugent Hopkins with some help from Drouin. They've got the puck. They win that puck battle. Here's Jones with a drive that goes off a skate and into the far corner. Nugent Hopkins battling Belmar. Chara comes in to help out, and they are hemmed again. It started with a face-off down on the opposite end of the ice, Greg, and it quickly ends up back down here. They just cannot get much momentum at the other end of the rink.
Team Europe's trying to fly up forward out of the zone to open the gap up a little bit more, but it doesn't work.
And here's Gaudreau again. Gaudreau throws it back out in front. Picking it up is Gostisbehere, and he fans on that wrist shot. Puck bouncing around. Left for Gostisbehere. In for McDavid. McDavid, one move too many. Lost control of the puck. Gets it right back. Puts it into the corner for Gostisbehere. Try to step around Nielsen. He gets it away to Hossa, and Hossa just out to center right. But North America's got the puck right back. Quickly up. Gaudreau, he's got a lane. Johnny Gaudreau in, shoots, and Alak blows the 5-hole on it. Here's Anze Kopitar, the captain for Team Europe, and now the captain of the Los Angeles Kings. 9 consecutive seasons Kopitar has led the Kings in scoring. One more than what was the record held by Marcel Dion. Final minute, first period. Sent around Kopitar, who was very strong, I thought, for Team Europe the other night. We've not seen much from him so far. His top line was Zuccarello and Vodka. And it's been all North America. Here's Strike. Strike shot off of Parayko, and now Gaborik is on it. In for Kopitar. And this one comes outside the line.
The chances in Game 1 were 23-12 in favor of Team North America. They're on their way to another 20-chance game the way they're going so far. And that's high in any game in the National Hockey League. Enormous.
Here's Trocheck. Trocheck trying to send it around the wall, and Niederreiter was there, and now it comes free for Austin Matthews. Matthews, the first overall pick back in the June draft. This one sent all the way down the ice for icing with 0.1 seconds remaining on the clock.
You know, Austin Matthews looked pretty good in Quebec City, but you expected him to be a little bit nervous. First game in North America professionally, but I've noticed even tonight just a little more jump, a little more confidence. He made a great play on the one goal for Team North America, and Maple Leaf fans are going to be happy with this kid. No doubt about it.
Well, I know who will not be happy with this period. Mercifully, it comes to an end for Team Europe, but it's a big period for Austin Matthews and company, as Ralph Kruger will no doubt have the chalkboard working in the intermission. 5-1 after 20 in Montreal.
Five goals on 13 shots, and now through 4 periods, North America has outscored Team Europe 9-1. I am sure Elliot and Nick will have some interesting thoughts on what we just witnessed. It was absolute carnage, unless you're Aaron Ekblad, who was enjoying himself. 2 goals for the former Calder Trophy winner. in. Be afraid. Be very afraid, because North America is coming at you. That is the round-robin schedule coming up for Team North America. They have many stars, including Aaron Ekblad, who's standing by with Kyle Bukauskas.
Well, Aaron, I know Todd had talked about converting on the chances you guys had created on Thursday. Was it message received here early on in this one tonight?
Yeah, we got a couple good ones. One rolling puck, shot it high. Rise got one that went off a guy's pants. I mean, my fan on one that went 5-hole. I think we're definitely capitalizing on opportunities, but we still got a lot of work to do. We got defensive zone to take care of.
You guys had addressed, in Thursday's game, you're perhaps faded a little bit down the stretch in that third period. How do you at least keep the tempo up here tonight?
Just keep on making plays and making them fast. I think at times we're moving pucks when we don't need to. We can be patient and find lanes, and obviously we want to do that quick, but smart as well.
Aaron, appreciate your time.
Thank you.
All right, inside our Sportsnet studios, Elliot Friedman, Nick Kypreos, David Amber. Wow, so much for those adjustments for Team Europe. The one big adjustment maybe we saw from Team North America was that Todd McLellan basically said it's a 5-man attack. Everyone up, go have fun.
No, I don't know about that. They want to be on the right side of the puck defensively. Yeah. But the one knock maybe that maybe McLellan had in Game 1 Thursday was the fact that they only had 21 shots on goal in total, and only 3 came from the blue line. Mm-hmm. Not the case this one. We know, we just heard from the guy that's leading the charge. Already 4 shots on goal, and 2 of them, of course, have come from Ekblad, but they are much more involved. And that's the one thing that we noticed Thursday night, that there is an element to this North American team that comes from the back end. They don't get the recognition of a Sweden, but certainly with Ekblad, there's some potential for some guys joining the rush.
Yeah, absolutely.
They talked, we talked in the pregame about how they could not let the North American players just bring the puck in over the line. If you look at the first few minutes of this game, they were doing it. North America was having to dump the puck in, which historically does not lead to as much success. Look, they step up, force the dump in, they clear the zone. Here's another situation, step up, not exactly a clean entry, and they're able to clear the zone. Third one in a row, this one was less than 5 minutes in. Again, not exactly a clean entry. The moment the North American players, here's Morgan Rielly, gets a clean entry, and seconds later, it's in the net. And then that just started repeating itself with the 3-on-1. That was a fluke, the 3-on-1. Seidenberg took out his own teammate, but then came another one moments later. I mean, the message is very clear. If these guys can enter your zone cleanly, they are going to do damage.
Nick, look, you've been on the wrong end of games like this where you're in a dressing room. What can Ralph Kruger say, if anything, to motivate these guys to at least not humiliate themselves?
I would hope that they have enough of a veteran presence with guys like Chara and Hossa in that room, Kopitar, that Ralph Kruger really doesn't have to. The one knock I think that maybe the Team North America might have an issue with, from your management point of view, is we're now 4 periods in for this team, and they have not been battle tested at all. Compare the style of play in these last 2 exhibition games with North America and Europe and everybody else. It's not even close. This is a country club right now for 4 periods for this team, and I wish that Europe would step up and really show us what they are.
They have great leaders. One in particular is their captain. We're going to go to Slovenia and take an inside look at the circuitous route that Andrej Kopitar took to the NHL. A great feature rolling your way. It's next. 1,000 caves, having the world's longest ski jump, as well as possibly producing the next First Lady of the United States in Melania Trump. However, it's not known for producing hockey players. However, Anze Kopitar is changing that. Stephen Brunt has more.
I always told him, stop playing hockey, because nobody from our country will never play in that league.
With a population of just 2 million people and only 7 registered hockey rinks in Slovenia, the odds of Anze Kopitar making a living playing the game he loved were never in his favor. But hockey was in his blood. His father played and coached, and it was evident early on that Anze only wanted to do one thing.
We never watch the cartoons or this kind of stuff. We always watch hockey. All these highlights of my career, he watched this like thousands of times.
Born in a small industrial town just minutes from the Austrian border, Kopitar spent most of his time on the ice. His family even transformed their backyard into a makeshift rink.
You go to school, come back here, throw on skates, and be out here all day. And then they have to literally pull me off when it was getting dark.
Despite showing incredible ability early on, not everyone thought his dream of making it to the NHL was even remotely possible.
When he was 10 years old, he had his homework and he wrote, then one day he will play in NHL. And I crossed this sentence in that story because I told, no, you are not so good, so gifted.
If you tell me no, I'm gonna try extra hard. So that's kind of like my motivation was too. I just said, you know what, let me just do my best and we'll see what happens.
At 16, Kopitar had outgrown his competition in Slovenia. He was simply too good and decided to move to Sweden in order to improve his chances of playing professional hockey.
Leaving the family behind was one of the toughest days in my life.
I will never forget that day. We really grew and really became best friends at that time, and then all of a sudden overnight he wasn't there.
It was very emotional, very hard, but I knew that if I was ever going to be a hockey player and make a living with hockey, I needed to do that. So that was my main goal.
Kopitar flourished in Sweden. In 2005, his dream, one that many said would never materialize, came true.
Los Angeles Kings are very pleased to select from Slovenia, Anze Kopitar.
It didn't take long for Kopitar to make an impression on the hockey world.
Kopitar can beat you in so many different ways.
There hasn't been many players better than Kopitar.
I think Anze Kopitar right now is third best player in the National Hockey League behind Crosby and Taves, and he's getting better every game.
You know, the compliment he gave me, it really is the ultimate, and it just gives you more motivation to keep on getting better.
The Los Angeles Kings are indeed the kings of the National Hockey League.
In 2012, the Kings would win their first Stanley Cup. Back home, Kopitar was celebrated as a national hero.
He's the ambassador of our country.
He's one of the biggest stars of Slovenia.
He's proved that everything is possible.
Everybody wants to be like him.
People are really good to me here. They've always, supported me, and a lot of people were waking up at 3 or 4 in the morning just to watch our games. And to know that you have that kind of support from your own country, it's pretty special.
Most of people don't even comprehend how much work needs to be done to accomplish something like that. It's like needle in a haystack.
This is my home, and if I can somehow leave a mark on this country, it'd be satisfying to me. Hopefully we can have many more players from this part of the world to be in the NHL.
Kaj hočeš biti, ko boš velik? Hočeš biti hokejist, ha?
Yeah.
Znaš što bo da?
In the NHL?
Yes.
Bravo.
Producer George Skatakis with some great storytelling there I won't be surprised if down the road in the next 10, 15 years we see some more hockey players, thanks to Kopitar coming from Slovenia.
Remarkable story, and I know that a little bit of a controversy in Los Angeles that Kopitar now becomes the captain of the Los Angeles Kings. Dustin Brown moves aside. I don't know if it necessarily means a knock against Brown more than what they think of Kopitar moving forward.
It's funny just watching the interaction and the talk about him and his father. His father coaches the Slovenia national team. Before Sochi, I asked Kopitar, how much is your dad going to play at this tournament? He goes, I think I'm getting 30 minutes a game. Before this tournament, I asked him, you want your dad to coach Team Europe? He goes, no, I think I've had enough. It was a good line from Kopitar about his father.
Yeah, he's a very classy guy. As far as tonight's game goes, though, he's got some work to do, trailing 5-1 after 20 minutes. Second period's rolling your way next from the Bell Center. Keep it locked here.
Center, Dave Randorf with you along with Greg Millen, and it is 5-1 Team North America. Through 4 periods of play, they have outscored them 9-1. And we will see what adjustments have been made by the European team to try to slow this attack down and get some more offensive thrust going at the other end. Seth Jones sends the puck across the ice to Ryan Murray. It's onto the stick of McKinnon, and into the zone it goes. Here is Seidenberg. Seidenberg throws it back, is looking for Tatar, but he'll get the return feed, and they'll try the left side. Here's Roman Josi. Josi dances into the zone, drops it off. Kopitar with a shot, and he goes to get his own rebound. Kopitar back to Seidenberg. They stretch it out along the blue line, and this is Hossa. Hossa on a line with Kopitar and Tatar to start the second. Seidenberg over to Josi. Back out to center. And tapped inside the line, and hustling after that puck is McDavid. Backhander in front. Coming across was Halak. On that shot, that tip attempt by Gaudreau. Picked up with some speed by Frans Nielsen. Nielsen, 10 years with the New York Islanders, now a Detroit Red Wing. Here's Eichel. Eichel tried to feed it up ahead to McDavid at his stick. Tied up a little bit there by Seidenberg, the veteran. Now here's Gaudreau. Backhand feed looking for Gostisbehere. Did not catch him cleanly, but they keep the puck in there. Now some room for Eichel. Eichel backs out, flips it in front. Halak poked at it. It goes across to Gaborik. McDavid sends it back in. Here's Eichel. Low shoots, and that handcuffed Halak, but he made the save. Big offensive zone pressure by that top line of McDavid and Eichel and Gaudreau. They have not spent much time in the defensive end of the ice. Now it's Colton Parayko backing up. Parayko, who just a couple of years ago played college hockey at the University of Alaska, for bursting on the scene with the Blues last season. There's a cross-ice attempt. Puck is loose there. Halak is down, and Josi trying to settle things down. Banks it hard off the boards and outside the line. Fired back in. Seidenberg still out there. Gets it to Josi, who goes up to center ice for Vanek. Vanek to Hansen. Well, North America comes away with it again, and here they come. Here's Couturier. Dropping it off for Wright. Simple play, rings it around the boards, and waiting for it is Larkin. Larkin in the corner, trying to walk out in front of the net, but it's batted back out to center. Aaron Ekblad in for Couturier. Rolls inside the Team Europe blue line again, and Sekera comes near side. Nino Niederreiter puts it ahead, almost had Bodker. Now Bodker corrals this loose puck. All the black jerseys are back. Here's Chara. Off his skates and into the corner. He bumps Trocheck out of the way. And now it's picked up by Matthews. Here comes Trocheck, a speedster. Right side. Shoots, and Halak hits that up and into the netting behind him to get a whistle.
Well, already a couple of early chances for Team North America. Again, from giveaways or off the rush. Here's one off the rush. And McDavid will center it right in front of the net, and Seidenberg just gets his stick on that pass coming across the crease, and then Jack Eichel, after some real good zone time in the Team Europe end, had another chance to handcuff Halak a little bit, but he fought it off.
Nugent Hopkins to take this draw against Kopitar. It's won again by Team Europe. Team North America won just 35% of the draws in that first period. The only thing that went right for Europe. And now here's Nugent Hopkins again. He's got some help, throws it across, and that pass just behind Drouin. Turned back quickly by the Europeans. Here's Hossa. His pass got away from Kopitar, and back they come with speed. Jonathan Drouin cuts back, drops it off, McKinnon shoots! Halak with a stop on another great-looking rush by Team North America.
I don't know how long until it's going to be that Team Europe's figuring it out that they can't turn the puck over just inside the blue line with this transition and speed. But Jonathan Drouin just takes off like a shot after this turnover as it's dished up by Nugent Hopkins. And the end result is an inside-out move, and Nathan McKinnon walks right into another shot in Halak, and a real good save by Halak as he holds his ground.
Nielsen against McDavid. Another clean face-off win. And this one goes up and out of play. Face-off will come right back where it started.
It looked like Team Europe early in the period was going to try to spread it out in their own zone and go D to D and try and get away from the pressure a little bit, but once again, they continue to pinch when they shouldn't, lose pucks to the offensive blue line when they shouldn't, and against a team like this in transitions with speed, you just can't do that.
Here's Eichel. Eichel trying to work his way out of the corner. And it's Gaudreau. Gaudreau pinched out of the play there by Nielsen, and the puck comes free for Gaborik, who gets it out. Here is Zuccarello, the leading scorer for the New York Rangers, gets a shot, and Gibson hugging that post made the stop. So we can talk a lot about, what Europe is not doing, but how about what North America is doing?
Everything right. All because of speed and skill, period. There's a turnover, though.
And that shot just misses glove side on Gibson. Here's Yossi now. Yossi throws it back door. Gibson's down. They score. Gaborik got Gibson to commit, and he buries one, and it is 5-2.
And a turnover by Team North America in their own zone. Pass. Just like that. The initial play. Now Gibson's going to lose his balance here somehow on this transitional play. Goes down and never gets back out. And Gaborik tap, tap, tap. Feels like he's got a shot, a wide open net, as Gibson is down and out after he got all tied up in front of the net with Connor McDavid trying to get across the crease from one side of the net to the other.
Marian Gaborik, who played in the last World Cup of Hockey in 2004, really struggled with injuries, suffered a knee injury in February and missed the rest of the regular season. Tough year for him, but that is his first goal of pre-tournament competition. And he cuts the deficit to 3.
Here's the giveaway. Gaborik starts to play off. Now what happens to Gibson here? He goes across, everything's fine here. Team North America complaining a little bit that he was run into by Belmar on the stick, and that's why Team North America thought that their goaltender might have been interfered with in front of the net.
Now, this could be potentially a reviewable situation for goaltender interference in the NHL, and they will have those same rules once the tournament begins, and we will start to see those challenges and reviews in the third pre-tournament games for all the teams.
Yeah, and he takes the stick right out of the hands of Gibson on the play, and that's why Gibson really could never get back and get set.
So that could potentially be a challengeable play in the next pre-tournament game and in the tournament. But they are not doing that for the first 2 pre-tournament games for each of the clubs. But they will have the same NHL rules apply once the real thing starts on Saturday night at the Air Canada Centre. Here's Belmar, throws it across. Hanson trying to kick it up to his stick. And that didn't work, and back they come. Austin Matthews stripped with the puck by Belmar. Belmar comes across to Thomas Vanek. Vanek in towards the net, and is kicked up by Gibson. Everybody changes. Morgan Riley up ahead to Ekblad. Ekblad with 2 goals in that first period. And now this is Tatar. Tatar angled away there by Couturier, and now Larkin. And he'll go back to Streit. Streit lobs this one down the ice. Ryan Murray's back there against Kopitar. And quick transition by Team North America. Can they get it out? No, they can. Here's Hossa. Hossa stripped there by Jones. Goes back to get it. Now it's a little help from Murray that got the puck back. That one goes up and over the shoulder of Seth Jones, and now it rolls ahead. Gaborik almost in there, following up as Kopitar. His shot reaches the net, eventually rolls in there, and Gibson pounces on the loose puck and covers up. So Europe scores first here in the second period, and it's 5-2. Along with one of his assistants, Dave Tippett, on Team North America's bench.
Yeah, the challenge for the coaching staff here, you have a young team to keep their play disciplined for a full 60 minutes and not lose any concentration throughout the game. And defensively, there will be some challenges with this group as they have so much offensive creativity. And we've seen a couple of giveaways here by Team North America in this second period, one that's cost them a goal.
John Cooper, the third member of that coaching staff, on the bench. Here's Gaborik now. Tried to get one to Zuccarello. Here's Sekera. He is pinched out along the wall, and now Frans Nielsen. Got to keep it deep. Jonathan Drouin gets it back out to center. And Zdeno Chara turns and puts a backhand feed back out to center right. McKinnon drops it off. Here's Drouin. Drouin, the shifty one, back to the line for Murray. Ryan Murray walks the line, stops, looks. Zuccarello watching him. Wrist shot just wide of the net. Into the corner where Jones puts it back in there. Out in front for McKinnon, and he just missed on a bouncing puck. Gets it right back. McKinnon down low is Nugent Hopkins, and Halak alertly covers up.
Really good work once again by this line, who have been good tonight so far. We got Drouin now on this line with Nugent Hopkins and McKinnon. They know each other quite well, obviously, and a couple of chances that don't really materialize much, but some nice work down low by this trio.
Two guys who won a Memorial Cup together in Halifax. Here's Parayko. There's that big bomb of his. He gets it to the net in a hurry. Stopped there by Halak. That pass just in behind the intended target, Eichel. Eichel back out there with McDavid and Gaudreau. Here's Mikhail Boedker. Boedker, who is now a member of the San Jose Sharks after signing with them. And he's got the puck out of the corner. This is Boedker. Leaves it for Spiza. Spiza's shot is right on the mark, and Gibson makes the easy save.
This is the cycle that Team Europe's looking for and getting a little bit more of in the second period here. Gaudreau loses his stick, and that doesn't help matters much as you see it lying on the ice. But here is the low play, the cycle. This is what Team Europe would like to do against this North American team. Both teams have a lot of center icemen in their lineups, and at times the points are open because they're so used to collapsing down low in their normal position now that their center iceman playing wing.
Bellemare to Vanek, did not get a good shot away. As Pierre-Edouard Bellemare, nice play there. He's got a goal and an assist.
This is not a bad thing for Team North America. They need some competition here, quite frankly, to get ready for this tournament. And they haven't had much from Team Europe so far.
Bellemare, a native of France, just coming off an Olympic qualifying tournament. And here's a chance in front for Gibson, and he makes a save point blank on Jannik Hansen. Hammered back in, not deep. Cleared near side, loose puck, Saad goes after it, forcing Halak to come out, and he does. And a penalty call, first call of the night. It's going to be a trip.
Hossa tripped up Matthews, so he's going to the penalty box. Right before that, Gibson with an unbelievable save here. And again, you've talked about it, Dave. Face-off. This time, Team North America wins it, but Ekblad with the giveaway. Morgan Rielly gets caught chasing up the boards. And that's a real good save. And here's a look at the trip right in the neutral zone as Austin Matthews goes down after Hossa trips him up.
First look at a power play tonight. This will be the second power play that Team North America has had so far. They were 1-for-1 on Thursday in Quebec City. McDavid will come in and take this draw against Kopitar. He's got Brandon Saad and Scheifele with him up front. That one gets away from Shane Gostisbehere. Jack Eichel is going to be on the opposite point. Eichel lets that get away from him on that forecheck there by Bellemare, who's still causing problems. Bellemare on the puck.
Where losing face-offs can really hurt you on your special teams, both on the power play and killing penalty, and that will be interesting to watch with Team North America as they lose the draw. Look at all the time they've lost on the power play because of it.
And a little extra work there by Bellemare to keep him down there. Here's Eichel. Floats one towards the net, handled by Halak, and the faceoff will be to his left.
And once again, we're going to have Matthews here on the point on the power play, which is interesting. They have such a young player out there in that role.
He will turn 19 on Saturday, the opening day of the World Cup. Here's Gaudreau now. Gaudreau back to Matthews. Up top to Ekblad. His drive deflected on the way by. McKinnon sweeps it back to the point. Ekblad hustles in after it. Aaron Ekblad swings it over to Austin Matthews. Back to Ekblad, who keeps that puck in. Now it's Gaudreau. Gaudreau on the dot. Down low. McKinnon forced back. Vodka watching him. Here's Ekblad again. Back to McKinnon. McKinnon to Matthews. Shoots and he fires a bullet just wide. Here's McKinnon now. Nathan McKinnon walks out. Gives it up to Ekblad. Back into the corner. Gaudreau to Matthews. To Aaron Ekblad. Gaudreau one-time attempt and he misfired. Shot it wide. McKinnon on the boards into the corner. Sent back, and now it's Gaudreau. Near side, Johnny Gaudreau trying to dance in. Tucked in there, Matthews backhander into traffic, and it never reached the net. Matthews again, shoots, and it rides off a stick and out of play with just 4 seconds to go. The penalty to Hossa.
A bad display of skill, huh?
Yep.
Good puck position. Gaudreau finally takes matters into his own hands and tries to go to the net, and the broken play almost works. And Matthews, who started out in the point in the power play, really didn't stay there very long as he was all over the ice. And he gets a chance to score there.
24 goals and 46 points in 36 games last year in Switzerland. He was tied for third in the league for goals and in top 10 in scoring as well as an 18-year-old. Here's Sekera up, penalty is over, team's back at even strength. That goes high off the glass, and Jones back towards the net, and Halak has been sharp since coming off the bench. Holds on to that one, and we will take a break past the midway point of the second at the Bell Center in Montreal. Edouard Bellemare, a guy who was a long-time veteran of the Swedish league. As mentioned, he's from France. He went to 4 straight league finals, won it twice. He was the assistant captain of the team called Skellefteå, and had some very strong performances at World Championships that finally caught the eyes of some NHL teams. And one of the teams that was interested in him was the team that plays here. in Montreal, but he signed with Philadelphia, and he's had a strong performance tonight. And he's got the puck right now. Puts it back to Sekera. Sekera with a blast. And Bellemare digs it away from Couturier. Here's Hansen now. Erik Hansen with a bank shot that ends up with Sekera. The veteran defenseman, cross-ice pass, back door! And Bellemare just missed the tip. Great little feed in front that he just couldn't tip it. Backed up ahead, Chara cuts that off, and it is offside of the line.
Well, Bellemare, I think, has been probably the best forward for Team Europe in this game this evening, and he's been all over the ice, and right here he has a chance to tip one by Gibson. And the puck just goes past the stick of Gibson and past Bellemare in front of the net. And
unsuccessful in their Olympic qualifying bid. He was frustrated by that. That was at the beginning of this month.
And he mentioned to us that, I may not be the most skilled guy, but I think I can help in the work ethic department with this team and be involved. Well, he has certainly done that tonight.
Morgan Rielly gathers up this loose puck and skates it up the ice, gets over to center and dumps it in. McKinnon is on it in a hurry. Can't quite get away from Mark Streit, but it stays inside the line. Ekblad, wrist shot, and Halak may have gotten just a piece of it. Here's Rielly. Rielly turns it over to Gaborik. Gaborik backhander, and Gibson stands up to bail out his defenseman. And now behind the play, Gaborik, I think, slashed Ekblad, who's laboring, favoring, I think, his wrist.
Yeah, he gave him a real good slash. Ekblad in some pain here at the moment. Here's the initial chance to give away by Morgan Rielly and Gaborik with the backhand. And then all Ekblad does is finish off his check, and then there's the ugly looking play afterwards by Gaborik. He's going to end up in the penalty box for it. Ekblad seems to be okay. He got it like almost in the ribs with that semi-spear.
Well, he's fine. He stays out there, shaking it off while Gaborik goes to the box. Second straight power play chance for Team North America, and they win this draw cleanly. Here's Ekblad, low, shoots, and that hits a man in front, goes into the corner. Matthews again on one of those points. He's in deep, and is pushed back to Ekblad. That pass eludes Matthews, who again creeps down into that corner. 4 black jerseys all around it. And that pass intended for Ekblad out of his reach and all the way down the ice. Aaron Ekblad has never had a 2-goal game with the Florida Panthers. He's got one here tonight. Here comes the rush. It's Matthews. Banks it off the boards to Ekblad again. Not a good draw. Into the slot. Back to Aaron Ekblad. And it's a good penalty killing here, but now it's Matthews. And Jonathan Drouin is on the puck now. Drouin trying to shake the check of Bellemare. And they back him up again. Over a minute gone in this power play, which has not registered a shot yet. Ekblad starts out, steps around Nielsen, comes near side for Scheifele. Scheifele banks it back, and that was out of the reach of Ekblad, and they all got to come out again. Here's McDavid. McDavid tries to sweep it towards it, and goes up in the air, and Scheifele gets to it. Scheifele puts it back to Gostisbehere. Gostisbehere to Eichel. Eichel back up top to the Ghost. Here's Gostisbehere. Wrist shot does not get through, but he keeps that in and gets the puck back. Throws it across. One-timer fanned on by Eichel. Just didn't click. Gostisbehere traps it. Fires a shot. His stick breaks. They still have it in front. Scheifele with a tip. And Halak get that. Here's Parayko. Parayko low, shoots, rebound. Great stop by Halak on the second attempt. Some good late pressure as teams are now back to even strength. Here's Parayko. Parayko, now Trocheck in, shoots. Big stop by Halak, who's doing a great job in this second period, and the crowd loves it.
It's survival now for Halak. And with these quality of chances that he's facing the last couple minutes, particularly on the power play.
And now Niederreiter back the other way. Kopitar goes to the net. Niederreiter shoots, and he fired it wide. And Kopitar with him took the shot. Tell you what, Europe scores next, and we got ourselves a game again. Off to Couturier, and Trocheck now steps around a big check attempt from Niederreiter, and now it's Kopitar. Kopitar shoots, and that is deflected high over the net. Kept in by Bodker. Back into the corner. Parayko jars it loose. Niederreiter is there. They look it back to the point. Swept across to strike. Here's Spiza. His wrist shot. Bouncing puck. Who's got it? Bodker's looking for it, and North America just lifts this one way up in the air and out to the neutral zone. 4.5 minutes to go, and things are picking up a little bit.
Yeah, some giveaways by Team North America, and that's creating some momentum here for Team Europe. They're starting to get their cycle going, get involved a lot more physically. And they've been much, much better in this second period.
That pass misses McKinnon, banks all the way down the ice. Icing waved off, Roman Josi first to the puck, and now it's Tatar with some speed and with some help. Right side, Tatar in, shoots, Gibson kicks, save, rebound was loose. Swept away just at the last second. That was McKinnon who was right there. Now it's Jones. Seth Jones, Zuccarello gets it back to Josi. Josi walks the line, McKinnon watching him, drops it off, Seidenberg with a drive, up high, and Gibson holds on and covers up. 3:40 to go in a second period. It's got some energy in it again. Oh, Slavolak used to play here for the Canadians, and he's been busy here since coming into action.
Yeah, he was looking forward to maybe getting in, probably not the way he wanted. He was hoping to play this game, and he's been very good in the second period, particularly on the power play where he was busy. He had to fight off a couple of excellent chances by Team North America.
He's made 15 saves on 16 shots, allowing one goal, but really, that one goal was not his fault. The shot that went up in the air and partially helped in by Lucas Spiza. Just a bad luck situation. Other than that, he's doing the job. There's Eichel with a drive that's up and out of play.
I was watching Team North America's power play with Austin Matthews in the point, the youngster. And this is when the coaches can try all different kinds of things. You don't think, though, however, in a tournament play that when you're up 5-2, you'll have a forward playing the point on the power play, especially a young one like Matthews. But this is where Coach McClellan will try all kinds of different situations here in these pre-tournament games to see what he has in the power play and see who looks good in each position.
Gostisbehere turns the puck over, and now Chara throws it across to Sekera. A defense core full of 30-somethings here for Team Europe. A lot of experience, but a lot of miles as well. And now it's Tatar. Tatar trying to walk out of the corner, cycles it back. Anze Kopitar, the captain, up high in the zone, working his way around, trying to get away from McDavid. Now he curls back and finally gives the puck up and gets some help from Tatar. Back to Kopitar, got into traffic and then stripped. Here's Parayko now. Parayko gets it away. Gaudreau throws it across to McDavid, and that pass was too far ahead. Eichel trying a long pass, snaps the stick. He's going to have to hustle back. And here comes Josi. And they're offside, kind of a break for North America as Eichel had to hustle over to get a new stick.
David's been pretty quiet in this game tonight. He set up a goal, but Parayko comes in off the rush, and Gaudreau, who's been very active at the side of the net, also with him on that line. But it's interesting, this Team Europe, you know, they got a lot of pride, a lot of players in this team that have been around and on championship teams. They're not going to sit back here by any means, and as I've mentioned, a much better period for them here in the second period.
Scheifele's pass attempt eventually is going to end up back with him, and Scheifele drops it off. Here's Saad. Saad back to the line. Morgan Riley cuts in on his backhand, shovels it in there, and that is blocked in front, picked up by Scheifele. Back to Ekblad, fires a wrist shot, and then it's tipped just wide. Morgan Riley just banks that off the wall, and Josi takes over from there. Belmar's going to step in, and he left it for Vanek, and that just came outside the line. 1:43 to go here in the second. Here's Matt Zuccarello, as mentioned, a two-time now scoring leader for the New York Rangers. What a bounce-back season he had after suffering a severe head injury in the 2015 playoffs, temporarily losing feeling in his left arm and the ability to speak. It was a scary, scary injury indeed, hit by his own teammate, Ryan McDonagh, with a slap shot. And then he bounces back and leads the Rangers in scoring with 61 points. Here's Nielsen now. Frans Nielsen stepping in, takes a shot, goes off a leg and into the corner. Don Couturier gets it into traffic to Dylan Larkin. This kid can really fly, and he squeezes by that check. Larkin throws it out in front, bouncing puck, and it goes just past the point. The far post there, back to Larkin. Larkin shoots, and that is blocked by Strike. All is created by the speed of Larkin. Final minute now, second period. That shot misses the mark and bounces all the way out to center. Here's Zuccarello now. Zuccarello across to Nielsen, throws it back out. Gaborik scores. A broken play ends up in the back of the North American net. And it's 5-3.
Well, these are the little things with experience helps. And Seth Jones tries to jump up into the play, and in the end result gets caught. And that creates the man advantage. Greg Jones tries to get back into the play, and then Gaborik goes to the net, and he's let go as well. And here's the initial rush. Zuccarello passes it across, and then it ends up back in front of the net to Gaborik, and Jones can never get back into the play after working on a give and go down low offensively.
So a final minute goal here in the late stages of this second period. Second of the night for Gaborik. And it's a game again, 5-3. And with the way Halak is protecting that net, it could get interesting the rest of the way.
Well, Team Europe has fought their way back into this one now, and that will be a momentum builder for sure for them.
Here's Chara. Chara along the side boards. Ekblad fires it back towards the net where it's picked up by Riley. Chara rubs out McKinnon. And it's back to Ekblad. Ekblad only had one option, puts it around the boards again. A couple of North American players down low. And tapped past Ekblad by Tatar, and he takes an interference penalty as Tatar was trying to get past him, and Ekblad's going to the box.
Yeah, Team Europe starting to fly the zone a little bit more, and Ekblad here gets caught flat-footed, knowing that it's a man advantage break. So he pinches in, misses the puck, but takes the man late. And that's a penalty for sure, and that's why he's in the penalty box for interference.
Team Europe was 0 for 2 with a man advantage the other night in Quebec City. This is their first power play tonight. 10.5 seconds to go in this second period. Kopitar to take the drop against Vincent Trocheck. And he pulls it back. Yossi has to hustle in. Now Couturier forcing the issue, sending it back out, but Yossi knocked the puck away from him, and time is going to run out on this period. But Team Europe will have a minute and 50 seconds of power play time to start the third, and Gaborik with 2 goals in that second period, along with the key saves by Halak, makes it 5-3 through 40.
Team Europe actually wins a period over Team North America. 2 goals by Marian Gaborik. We actually have a game now. Some adjustments were made. We'll discuss what those adjustments were and a situation with Team USA. It's all coming up with Elliot Friedman and Nick Kypreos in a matter of moments. Keep it locked here. You're watching the World Cup of Hockey on Sportsnet. In 17 playoff games with the Lightning. He's carried that into this set of games here. He's flying out there with Nathan MacKinnon and RNH, and he's standing by now with our Kyle Bukauskas.
Well, Jonathan, just a 2-goal lead for you guys now after 40 minutes. What perhaps was lacking or missing in your game there in that middle frame?
Oh, I think we let them play a little bit too much. They had the puck a little more than the first period, and I think when we were as tight as the neutral zone, it was easier for them to get out of their zone, and it showed.
Did you ever, during your time in Halifax with Nathan, discuss the possibility of being line mates in the Bell Center?
No, not really. That was not planned at all. So definitely happy to play with him, and we're having a good time for playing each other.
All right, Jonathan, appreciate your time. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Elliot Friedman, Nick Kypreos, David Amber. You liked what you just heard there from Jonathan Drouin. Why?
Well, because, in his first answer, he talks about, it's not them, it's us. We're not as good as we can be. We weren't that good in the second period. And about, Nick was talking about how Team Europe wasn't creating any nastiness, but what they did do was they got back into the game. They scored a couple goals. They forced the penalty late. They're putting some pressure on North America at least. But I did see that watching that period. Like, North America just didn't seem at its fastest, at its edgiest. And I just love the fact that Drouin said that. It's not them, it's us. That's the attitude a good team should have.
And Marian Gaborik scored 2 goals right here on a broken play, which gets them back into this game. And Nick, we've talked a little bit about, I've been to family brunches with more animosity than we're seeing here. This is quite cordial in this matchup, especially considering the other 3 matchups we're seeing.
I don't know how battle ready these two teams are going to be when this thing starts for real Saturday, if they continue to want to just kind of play this nice, easy game. And I'm not advocating big scrums like we've seen, a lot of violence, fighting, but I am advocating a little passion and emotion, and even when plays are to the net here. This is Parayko, pretty big guy, but you know what? Niedermayer's no slouch either. Niederreiter's no slouch either here, and watch this little subtle cross-check right in the ribs. Like, tell me if that was a Canada-US, a Finland-Sweden matchup, you're getting away with that, and yet it just quietly goes into a face-off.
Stark contrast to Canada-US.
And these teams want to establish themselves early. And this is the passion and emotion that we've seen in other games that we don't get out of Europe or North America. You know what they're interested in? Just trading chances. You go, and then I'll go, and then you go, and then I'll go, and then everybody goes home happy. Sorry, it's not going to work.
Nick, is that because there's no history there? Like, U.S. and Canada have legitimate history. We documented 1996, and we documented the fact that Dean Lombardi's building a team to beat Canada. These guys have never played one another.
Listen, case in point, absolutely. Right? You just can't drop the puck and instantly hate your opponent. But certainly, if you're Europe and you've got already this rich history behind you with the likes of Chara, Hossa, and Kopitar, you would think someone would stand up and say, okay, boys, let's go here.
The other 6 teams that aren't playing this game have shown a high level of emotion. I think you could argue North America's shown a high level of emotion in the way they've played. We are still waiting for Europe, even with the closeness that they've suddenly made this game, to show the same emotion that the other 7 teams have shown so far.
And North America's final tune-up game is going to be against the Czech Republic. Europe's final tune-up will be against Sweden. So we'll see if that gets things going here. All right, what about the next one's fueled by Gatorade? This one, I don't know if he's the next one. He's right there. I mean, Aaron Ekblad is quite a phenomenal player, a Calder Trophy winner, first overall pick a few years ago, and he's been sensational thus far in this series and in this game. 2 goals already, and that's the difference as we head towards the third period. It's 5-3 with Team North America on top. Much more coming your way, including a story on Team USA. That's next. Hockey, but we're back. Finland and USA Tuesday, 6:30 Eastern. Finland after splitting their 2 games with Sweden. After that 5-2 loss to Canada, Team USA head coach John Tortorella not pleased, especially with Habs captain Max Pacioretty.
Yeah, he's okay. Yeah, but I need more out of him. Yeah, it's. I know how he can play. And this is what happens in this type of tournament and the team makeup. You're not going to get your 20 minutes. If other people are going, they tend to take some ice time. All of the top players, you look at even Canada's team, your minutes are going to be down. But Max hasn't. He's got to give me some reason to give him more minutes here, and so we'll see where it goes. We know he's a really good player, great kid. But we just got to get a little bit more out of him.
And Pacioretty's only been getting about 12-plus minutes per game. He name-checked him a few times in that post-game news conference. How bad a call-out was that by Tortorella?
Not bad at all. You know, Pacioretty played 10 minutes last night. The game is in Ottawa. It's a short drive from Montreal. You know all the Montreal media is there. He gets asked, you know, why doesn't Pacioretty play? That is not a rip job. That, you know, that's just him answering the question and saying, we need more. A John Tortorella rip job looks much different than that.
3 goals on 4 shots. Totally deflates a hockey team. You need a damn occasional save when that happens, eh? And listen, Johnny's trying like hell, but 4 goals and 16 shots. I'm a little tired of the 25% rule. Will we see Sean Burke? Damn right you will.
So that last question, I covered that series in 2006, was will we see Sean Burke? And he said, you're damn right you will. You know, so to me, like people saying he was ripping Pacioretty, I don't think that's a rip. That's him just answering the question saying we need more.
So what you're saying is if Pacioretty was a goalie, he'd be in real big trouble
That's right.
But Nick, from a player's perspective, you get called out like that.
It's not a call-out, but it is singling him out. And those star type of players from their respective clubs, and he's the captain of the Montreal Canadiens, they still don't like it. They still don't like it. It makes them feel uncomfortable. But if Tortorella's watching Canada over the years and watching guys who've played certain roles on their respective teams in the National Hockey League and then have to check those egos at the door and start doing some of the dirtier things to make the team successful, we've seen it in the past. Mike Richards has done it. Taves has done it earlier in his career. Now you look at this Team USA, and Pacioretty is being asked to do a similar situation. Problem with Pacioretty is if he's not putting the puck in the net, you don't necessarily notice him. And Tortorella wants to change that, and he wants to do it now.
I think the other thing, too, is they split with Canada, but they were outplayed. Even the game they won, they were outshot. They know they're going to have the puck a lot more if they're going to be successful. And Pacioretty is a guy on that team who can definitely do it.
And that's a challenge for these coaches because you coach a guy for 82 games, you know how to motivate him. Some guys, you call him out like that, you don't get the results you're looking for. You hurt his confidence. We'll see what happens on Tuesday with Max Pacioretty. Todd McLellan, he's doing all sorts of coaching right now. Wants to hold on to this 2-goal lead. Third period action. Europe, North America coming your way next.
All set to go for the third period of this Sunday night at the Bell Center in Montreal. Second pre-tournament game for these two, and Team Europe will have 1 minute and 50 seconds of power play time to work with as Aaron Ekblad is still in the box, serving his interference minor. Marian Gaborik has 2 goals, the only 2 goals of that second period. And it's 5-3 as we begin the third. This one rolls in on Gibson. He will hold on for the faceoff.
So fresh ice for Team Europe to work their power play now with a face-off in the Team North America zone. And what they will do here is Hossa will block off. Vanek will peel off for the one-timer if they win the draw.
Kopitar to take the draw against Couturier. And Team Europe controls it. Yossi gets this back, controls it on his backhand, then gives it up to Matt Zuccarello. Into the corner for Kopitar. Anze Kopitar forced by Trocheck. Yossi across. Here's Vanek. Vanek shoots, and that is right on the mark and an easy stop for Gibson.
Some were wondering about Vanek being on this team. Well, with all left-handed shots forwards, he was one of the few right-handers they could find, and this is why they need him on the power play here. At least they have one right-handed shot in the power play in this particular unit. He gets the chance to score. Hossa a little bit late arriving to screen the goaltender Gibson.
Coming off a tough season by his standards. First time in his career he did not score 20 goals. And now here comes Trocheck, short-handed, trying to race away. Puck is chopped away from him, and now Zuccarello turns it back. Gives it up to Kopitar with some speed. Anze Kopitar around the net, off the boards, and Yossi. Back to Kopitar, they set up again. Zuccarello quickly out in front, and that bounces away from the net. Hossa trying to keep it in there, but he does not. Morgan Riley finished the job and got it down the ice. 37 seconds to go with this man advantage. Yossi, it's Nielsen, it's Drive. Ross Nielsen trying to turn the corner on Parayko. He cannot, he's got a very long reach.
I liked his game tonight too. Didn't play in game 1. Parayko's got the great shot. A little bit of size for this defense for Team North America. A lot of size.
Here's Bodker now trying to cut in. And Nino Niederreiter spinning away from Ryan Murray, gets it back to the line, put across to Bodker, into the high slot, good pass, bounced away, and here comes Parayko again. 6'5" Colton Parayko, where his shot bounces out in front, and into the corner, back to even strength. Here's Gaudreau. Got into heavy traffic in the high slot, and Nielsen comes back the other way, and that one is deflected up and out of play.
Parayko with a couple of nice defensive plays. You mentioned his reach, Dave, and it comes in handy when you've got this kind of size there. Gets beat wide, but then that great stick eliminates the play and ices it down on the PK, and then shortly there afterwards, good read by Parayko, and here comes this quick snapshot. He really rifled this one, and Halak was handcuffed a little bit on the play.
Originally a third-round draft pick by the St. Louis Blues, and he's putting himself on the map for possible future assignments with Team Canada here. This is his first international experience.
He's back in the summer and finished his business degree in college.
Here's Eichel in the corner. Eichel, good pass back to Seth Jones. Wrist shot, intentionally wide off of the inboards, and scooped up by Europe and sent down the ice. Jannik Hansen hustling after it, but Murray gets there first, and it is icing.
Oh, I'm pretty sure the message from Team North America coaching staff was, look, we got to eliminate these giveaways. We started to give Team Europe a lot of momentum by getting a little bit too fancy. When you have the way these young North American players have, sometimes that creativity gets carried away a little bit. That's what I thought happened to them in the second, and Team Europe upped the game too.
McDavid, he is buried there by Chara. McDavid saw that coming and avoided the worst of it.
And we've seen that a lot more from Chara tonight, particularly in the last period and a half.
Here's Eichel. Eichel snaps a shot, and that is handled by Yaroslav Halak.
Eichel's had a pretty good night. It's a nice jump to his game. And Delmar gets a stick right up into the face of Eichel, and they sort it all out. And here's Chara, like I mentioned. And he gave McDavid a pretty good ride, as he does so often to the forward.
They control off the draw again. Quick shot, high slot from Jonathan Drouin. Missed the mark. And Kopitar trying to get away from the back check of Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. And they're going to blow that down at the Team North America blue line.
A real good defensive play in the back pressure by Nugent-Hopkins with this speed. Even when you do make some errors defensively or even in the offensive zone, with your speed you can get back. And Nugent-Hopkins did some real nice work to force the offside and create some back pressure on the play.
Injury-plagued season last year for Nugent-Hopkins after 2 real healthy campaigns. He was playing well when he got hurt, suffered a broken hand. Here's McKinnon. Overhandled the puck and lost control of it. And now it's turned back by Frans Nielsen. Hit him from Denmark. Drop pass to Seidenberg. Wrist shot from a long way out. And Gibson sees it and stops it.
Gibson's been pretty busy in the second period in particular, where he had to come up with a couple of real nice pad saves as Team Europe was in tight on him. And got a lot of work in this game tonight, much more than Matt Murray did in the first time these two teams met a couple of nights ago.
Matt Murray had 23 saves and a shutout. Here comes Matthews dancing in. Austin Matthews to Jones, heavy blast, and Halak has got that.
Austin Matthews has been much better and more comfortable in this game. Not that he was poor at all in the first game, but you can see this confidence come a little bit more now. He's a little more comfortable. He's starting to carry the play and control the pace, and he makes a nice play to Seth Jones on the turnback.
Matthews was impressive at the World Championship last spring. 6 goals, 10 points, tied for second in the tournament in goals, and led USA in scoring. Here's Hossa. Hossa had the puck poked off of his stick. Everybody had it clear. And that errant pass goes all the way back down into his own zone. Mark Scheifele back there on the forecheck, dug free. And Matthews comes up with a puck, gets it to Scheifele, and they just keep that in. There's one of those cute plays you're talking about. In front, puck bouncing around, but they still have it. Here's Murray. Takes the shot, it bounces all the way to Jones, right onto the tape of Matthews. Matthews backhander, and he fired it wide. You're right, you really can see the confidence of Austin Matthews growing as this game goes on.
And he's starting to hold on to the puck longer, and that's the first indication.
Here's Ronnie. Ronnie pushed it into the corner. Kopitar back up the boards. Inside quarters, 3 black jerseys all around. Seidenberg saw Trocheck coming. And here is Vanek. Thomas Vanek up to Kopitar. And the outlet feed to Seidenberg. Yannick Hansen down along the inboards with Morgan Riley, who comes away with a puck, and he gets it away to Sean Couturier. Here's Belmar trying to step around Ekblad. Not an easy thing to do, but he's still got it. Here's Belmar. Belmar towards an egg tip. What a great stop there by Gibson on the redirect right in front from Vanek. Vanek has always had such great hands in tight. But Gibson was up to the task there. Here's Hansen now. Can't center the puck. McDavid. Out to center, not much further. Hansen gives it to Gaborik, who's got 2 tonight. And back down the ice it goes for icing.
Oh, I mentioned the high-risk plays by Team North America that has surfaced a little bit. Here's another one here where Couturier goes straight across the middle of the ice instead of perhaps staying up the boards, and that creates another chance to score for Team Europe, and Gibson very sharp once again. And these are those little plays that are starting to surface in the game, in Team North America's game, that they weren't doing in period number 1 and last game in Quebec.
Long pass tipped off a stick of Gaudreau. Here's Connor McDavid first to it. Gets it to Johnny Gaudreau, and he comes out and threw a pass back out of the reach of Eichel. Gibson puts it off the glass. And up ahead is Gaudreau. In for McDavid. McDavid, Gaudreau! They can't finish. A backhand feed that Gaudreau had for a tap-in. It was into sight. Dynamic looking line. Here's McDavid. That pass is in behind him. Eichel, McDavid, and Johnny Gaudreau have been dancing tonight.
Tim York got away with an awful change on the fence. His strike was late coming on the ice.
And Strike gets it to Hossa. Hossa, hard backhand across the goal mouth. And now Jonathan Drouin advances the puck and rolls in there. McKinnon is on it. Back to his old Halifax teammate. Drouin throws it across. And it goes into the corner. That one gets away from Gostisbehere and goes down the length of the ice again. Shane Gostisbehere from Pembroke Pines, Florida. His pass back to Parayko. Look at that move. Parayko down low, and they one pass too many. In tight. No shot. Gostisbehere turned it over. They throw it back out in front. And Bacher controls the puck. Up for Nielsen. His backhander up high on Gibson. And he hangs on to it. And we will take a break. It still is a 2-goal game here in Montreal. Center, but we had a couple of chances for North America recently, Milton.
Yeah, sorry, Dave. The coaching staff has been asking the defense for a few more shots here on the bench. First of all, McDavid with the pass across and almost worked the Gaudreau, and here's Parayko getting right into the slot. And they'd like to see a few more shots with players going to the net, and perhaps see North America guilty of overpassing a little bit on those last two chances.
Pretty nice moves by a defenseman who's 6'5", 226. Here's Matthews. Austin Matthews busting in, and what a play by Seidenberg. Seidenberg reaches out and poke checks Matthews, otherwise he was in. Now it's Scheifele. Give it a check. Zuccarello now, skating it into the corner, looking around. Matt Zuccarello, high slot. Backhand lead for Josi. Josi in front, scores! Franz Nielsen taps it in. And it's a one-goal game.
Well, at one end, a terrific play by Seidenberg here after the giveaway as he gets back into the play on Austin Matthews' head. Stick on puck, a beautiful defensive play, and that leads to some zone time for Team Europe. They trade on defense, and then Josi, who's such a skilled guy, gets onto his backhand after Zuccarello and Josi play catch, and he centers it out to Nielsen on a beautiful backhand pass. And Nielsen staring at a wide open net. Then all of a sudden here, Team Europe has climbed back into this baby.
A couple of key plays there by a couple of veterans, two of those 30-somethings we were talking about. Frans Nielsen with a goal to make it 5-4. That is 3 straight goals by Team Europe. And this game's got a whole different feel to it now. It was, remember, 3-0 early, 5-1 after 1.
It's almost like Team Europe now starting to get their legs from underneath them after, of course, the long travel that a lot of them had to get to North America after their Olympic qualifiers. And Matthews got hunted down on the one play, and then at the other end, Team Europe just took off, and some pretty good zone time got them a goal.
Josi and Zuccarello draw the assist. That's 2 assists for Matt Zuccarello. 5-4, lots of time left. Dumped in by Yannick Hansen. And picked up by Dylan Larkin. He's got one of the North America goals tonight. That dangerous looking pass in for Trocheck. He's a little bit in the train tracks there. And now it's Bellemare trying to get around Jones. Bellemare. He is met there by Couturier. Gostisbehere immediately surrounded, but he does well to get this away to Trocheck. Vincent Trocheck dumps it in. Halak sweeps it away. And we have the play whistle down. What do we got, Millsy?
I think you're going to see too many men here.
Yeah.
Yep. Team Europe as Halak advanced the puck up to the players' bench. And Team Europe are going to say, no way, we got off in time. But as soon as that puck was played, there were too many men on the ice. Here's the play that goes up. And you'll see the puck is played, ooh, well, pretty close.
So a power play chance for Team North America, their 3rd of the night. They're 0 for 2. And a chance to really kind of slow down the momentum that Europe has built up here.
And they're saying that Danik jumped early, and that was the penalty.
Here's Eichel with a drive and a scoop save made by Halak.
You should mention Halak is one of the reasons why Team Europe were able to climb into this game. He came in at relief Thomas Greiss early in the game, and he's made some big saves in net, and there's somewhat of a routine save from well out with no traffic in front, but he's been excellent.
Thomas Greiss started the game, allows 4 goals on 8 shots. It was a disastrous start, but Halak has helped steady the ship, and it's a 1-goal game. Early in this Team North America power play. Good pass up to center ice. And they are in. Here's McDavid in the high slot, trying to backhand feed, and that is broken up. Seidenberg comes away with it, short-handed with Kopitar, and that's picked out by Gibson. Back the other way comes Scheifele. Scheifele drops it off for Saad. Saad to Eichel, and now they'll set up again. Eichel in the corner, looks back and gives it up to Gostisbehere. Bounces off the stick of McDavid. McDavid comes in, snaps the shot, goes off a leg, and it caroms to Eichel. Eichel, Saad, down low to Scheifele, and Chara was there to erase that. Seidenberg hard off the boards, and down the ice. Here comes Gostisbehere. 8 power play goals for him for the Flyers last season. That kid was magic. Here's Parayko. Parayko snaps to it, going all the way around the boards. McKinnon is there to try to trap it. And that clearing attempt goes off a skate and stays inside the blue line. Here's Parayko. Parayko to Ekblad. Ekblad, top of the circle, moves in, feeds it down low. And now spinning away is McKinnon. Back to Drouin. Drouin being watched by Sekera. And it gets away from Parayko and out. 10 seconds to go on the man advantage. And this will pretty much do it. So a successful penalty kill just when they needed. Tatar stepped out of the box. He was serving the too many men call. Team's back at even strength. Here comes that Dangerous combo as Gaudreau, backhander, scores! Johnny Gaudreau.
Well, this is just a work of art. Gaudreau just takes the puck up the boards, decides to go inside out, and a beautiful play right between the legs of Halak after he goes right by Spiza, cuts to the middle of the ice and catches Halak going from one side of the net to the other and tucks it right in between his legs. Oh, what a beautiful goal by a star already in the National Hockey League, and Johnny Gaudreau.
Coming off a 78-point season. That's his third goal in 2 games, second tonight. And it's back to a 2-goal lead, 6-4. The Team North America after they failed to score on the power play. That one got away from Gabbert. Here's Seifert. He'll sweep it in there. Zuccarello waits for it, centering attempts, and Gibson wasn't sure for a second, but he has got it and hangs on. Johnny Gaudreau has made it 6-4 for Team North America. Last season, and he's got 2 tonight, Greg.
And, you know, these goals, those first ones, sometimes this is what goal scorers do. They're always around the puck. They're creative, and he just chips it back and hits the whack in the back and goes in the net. But this one is all good roll, all skill. What a beautiful, beautiful goal as he undresses the defense and goes right in on the lock and tucks it in.
Career highs across the board for Gaudreau. 15 more points than Sean Monahan, who, by the way, was originally named to this team and then had to withdraw due to injury, and they added Vincent Trocheck. 7:40 to go. Both of these teams have one more pre-tournament game still on their schedule, both on Wednesday. Europeans are in Washington to face the Swedes, and Team North America will be in Pittsburgh to face the Czechs. Here's some speed coming at you, Nathan MacKinnon. In there, fanned on the shot attempt, gets the puck back. And he cycles this back into the corner for Nugent Hopkins. Back to Jonathan Drouin. Hopkins hard on the puck. And now Drouin throws it across, good pass to Ronnie, double clutches and got a shot away. And Halak makes the stop.
Jonathan Drouin, this is a little more cycle than we've seen from Team North America, something the coaching staff would like to see more of, and Drouin finds Morgan Riley through the seam. Skilled players can make those passes, and Riley, with a goal already this evening, had a pretty good look there.
Face-off controlled, sent back to Riley. Here's MacKinnon. McKinnon cuts in, and again he fans on one. Bangs off the boards and down the ice. Here's Hossa. Back in there against Morgan Riley, who comes away with it. Up ahead to Drouin. He'll throw it across right onto the tape of Nugent Hopkins, who sends it in, and that line will change. The McDavid trio comes over. Another shift for Gaudreau coming up here. Here's Tatar trying to get loose there on Gostisbehere. Now McDavid against Kopitar. Johnny Gaudreau up on the forecheck. Seidenberg pressured by Eichel, but he gets the pass away. Yossi throws it all the way across, and it's dumped in near corner. Gostisbehere gets there and going hard into the boards there with Zuccarello. He gets up. Parayko on his backhand, trapped by Sekera, back towards the net. Chance right now, and a big stop by Gibson on Marian Gaborik, looking for his third of the night. Nothing doing. It stays 6-4, the Bell Center in Montreal. We're less than a weekend away from the official opening of the 2016 World Cup of Hockey. All the teams still fine-tuning, playing some pre-tournament competition. And for the most part, these games have been fairly entertaining. And this is a close one, again, between Team Europe and Team North America. It looked like the North Americans were going to run the Team Europe out of the rink. But they rebounded, made it close. But Johnny Gaudreau has restored a 2-goal lead here in the third period, which has 5.5 minutes remaining in it. Gaborik puts it back to Streit on his backhand, keeps it deep. Now it's Zuccarello, kicks it out of the corner, centers it in front. Gaborik was there again. Puck went up in the air, and now it's lifted down the ice by Team North America, and this will be icing.
Gaborik's had a pretty good night since he's been paired with Frans Nielsen and Zuccarello. These three were put together after the first period and have had some pretty good looks on the cycle, and another one there.
Paul Maurice, head coach of the Jets, talking to Zuccarello. Assisting Ralph Kruger, who the last time we saw him in the NHL, he was the head coach of the Edmonton Oilers. Long-time head coach of the Swiss national team. With all of his experience over in Europe, he says he knows all of these guys from when they were like teenagers.
Yeah, he was pretty emotional actually when he talked to us about his team when we first saw him a couple of days ago, saying, you know, I watched all these kids grow up through the ranks. Ralph has a son playing as well, and a lot of these players played with his son, so he's been able to watch all these players through all the different nations grow up and become National Hockey League players.
Matthews takes that pass and gives it up to Brandon Saad. Saad wide side for Shifley. Throws it back out in front, but Saad was tied up. Here is Shifley. He's rubbed up by Chara. Saad now trying to force the issue. Got it away to Matthews. Matthews banks it to his Toronto Maple Leaf teammate Riley. Here's Shifley now. Trying to move away from Chara. Banks it back to Matthews. Matthews cannot cut out front. Kopitar, the reigning Selke Trophy Award winner, is sticking with him. Chara knocked out. Crowd likes that. And here is Kopitar. Osa just dumps that in, and he'll head to the bench. Gibson comes out of his net. And Shifley waiting for it, and now here comes Matthews. Matthews on the left side, cuts back into the middle, creates a little room. Here's Matthews on his backhand. Almost tucked it in as he went backhand, forehand, and just couldn't wrap it around. Here's Seidenberg, strong on the puck. Tries to get a shot towards the net. Now Belmont in behind the goal. Vanek tried to center it. Parayko stays strong on him, and now Parayko is tripped up, and a penalty call coming up against Thomas Vanek. Tripping is the call. He's going to the box.
And just before that, Austin Matthews on a 2-on-2 recognizes the defense backs right up, so he takes advantage of that, just walks right in with a pretty move, and at the other end, here's Vanek with enough off the slash that he's going to get caught there for the slash. And a foolish penalty by Vanek with his team down by 2 with 3:30 to go.
Over 3 is Team North America on the power play. Morgan Riley directing a little traffic before they drop the puck here.
They've had good movement on their power play, some skilled play, excellent chances as well in this game.
McKinnon, who had 2 goals the other night, settles in to take this draw, and he pulls it back cleanly to Ekblad. Here's Riley now. Riley rolls in deep and then gets it to Drouin, who switches places with him now. Drouin back to Riley, over to Aaron Ekblad. They'll go into the corner. And back to Riley. Riley moves in, takes a shot, a rebound, sitting right there upstairs. He tried to go on a lack, but he made the stop there on Johnny Gaudreau. Now here's Drouin, walks out, rolls away from him, Ekblad to Riley. Back into the corner. McKinnon centers it, goes all the way back to the blue line. Ekblad moves in on Jannik Hansen. Taps back to Riley. Riley in for Gaudreau. McKinnon one-timer, and he just missed. Here's Ekblad again. Morgan Riley, Ekblad one-timer, hits Drouin, who ducked and did not get that flush, which is a good thing. Now Gaudreau in, down low. Walking out is Drouin. Drouin high slot, shoots, and he missed stick side. Rebound, bounces near point to Ekblad. Hansen dumps Gaudreau, and Europe finally gets this down the ice with 37 seconds to go in the power play.
Riley and Ekblad switched there and got on their offsides, and a couple of one-time chances because of it by Ekblad.
Belmore up in the forward check on the penalty kill. They skate it down the ice, they'll set up again. Pass across to McDavid. And it ends up with Thomas Tatar. Tatar at center ice, lets this win in there. Gibson leads it for Eichel. Eichel puts it to open ice. And this is Gostisbehere. Capped in there by Austin Matthews. Final seconds of the penalty to Vanek. And he steps out of the box. So North America 0 for 4. And here comes Europe. Vanek looking for a tip in front, possibly from Hossa. Team Europe have one more here. Yossi hammers it right back in there. Kopitar controls the puck. Gets it away to Zuccarello. Extra attacker is on for Team Europe. Yossi with a drive. Gives him the glove save. It stays loose. Kopitar now Banks it off the boards. Vanek scoops it, comes across to Josi here in the final minute. Here's Kopitar. Vanek, Josi blasts one. Gibson makes the save, and they keep it moving. There's one off the side of the net with Gibson down. Marian Gaborik leaves it for Kopitar. Josi one time. Gibson again with a stop. Zuccarello in front for Kopitar. In too deep. Gibson comes across and makes another stop. And the crowd gives him a round of applause. He's battling here in the last minute. Zuccarello in the corner. Josi walks the line. Takes a stride. That's knocked down in front. Empty net. And here's Larkin with a wide open cage. 2 goals for him, and North America's going to beat Europe again.
Well, Gibson is making this decision for the coaching staff difficult. I mean, Matt Murray with the shutout in Game 1. Gibson has had a real good night. He's been much more active here in net in Game 2, and there was a beautiful save by Gibson to set up this empty netter. And Larkin makes no mistake, Team North America are going to go 2-0. But it doesn't count yet.
So Team North America impressive in their opening victory, and again here tonight with 7 goals on the board. It was a shaky start for sure for Team Europe. They rebounded to make a game of it. But another positive building block indeed for Team North America, the young guns, Greg.
Well, Team North America had it a little more difficult as they started to make some young mistakes throughout this game. Team Europe are going to get better. They get a lot better as this game progressed, and they will be, I think, ready to go as well for the first game of this tournament. But you got to love the speed of this North American group. It was special here again this evening.
So Jonathan Gibson and company, high fives all around as they shake hands. This is the last time they'll see these guys in pre-tournament competition. And they are not in the same round robin group. Here's a look at the game review, Greg.
Well, North America got out of the gate in a hurry, didn't they? And they looked like they were going to run away with this. And then Team Europe did get back in it thanks to Marian Gaborik's 2 goals. And Ekblad, good roll, and Larkin had a pretty good evening.
One more dress rehearsal for both of these teams, and then the real stuff begins on Saturday in Toronto. 7-4 is the final from the Bell Center in Montreal.